Aloha, it's CreativeNameToStandOut again with another battle report. This time I'm bringing you a game between my Pyre Legion and an opponent's Stromcast Eternals in the Brotherhood Thunderstrike formation. We will be playing the scenario Watchtower from the main rulebook. I will be the invaders. My opponent who's playing the Stromcast Eternals will be the defenders, or the guardians. As the guardian, you can put one unit and one hero in the Watchtower. While they remain in the Watchtower, they will have a +3 to their bravery stat, and they get to reroll all missed hits. Now, for this scenario, each of the generals will receive a unique command ability in addition to the ones they already have. The Guardians will receive at the double, which will allow any units within 12 inches of their general to both run and charge, so that'll be very handy for his reinforcements. And then, of course, the Invaders, Kekus the Pyromancer, will receive the unique command ability called Lure Them Out, which will allow him to target any enemy unit in a terrain piece and roll 2d6 against their bravery stat. If they're able to exceed that stat, that unit will have to leave the terrain piece. So here's an overlook at the board, and as you can see, we did move the windmill. The windmill is going to be the tower, but we decided we wanted a little bit more interactability with the terrain piece. If the windmill stayed out there, it was going to be an all or nothing game. Either I was going to be able to completely eradicate all the models in the building, or I wasn't. And in 3 turns, it was most likely I wasn't. So we decided to pull out a piece of terrain that, the amount of models on it could shift varyingly, and we decided to pull out my Witch Fate Tower. So he placed in the building a unit of Liberators and his Lord Relictor. On the left flank, I pulled out my Dragon Ogres with the Draconic Crushers. In the center, we have both my Chosen and a unit of regular Chaos Warriors. And then on my far right, next to a Realm Gate, which I hope to use just to see what it does, I put in another unit of Dragon Ogres. But unfortunately, we roll off. I decided we weren't going to roll every turn because that's just too many things to keep track of. We would just roll for it once, and the thing exploded. We decided it'd be too confusing to make every piece of terrain special, so we decided to play the Sylvaneth Woods as Sylvaneth Woods. The Witch Fate Tower will be what it is, and of course we have the 2 Realm Gates, and then that well will be Arcane, and the Temple in the back will be Mystical. So that's what we're going to do with terrain, and we'll start with the game. So in this scenario, the Guardians do get to go first, and so here come the reinforcements of Sigmar. Yes, I know, that was perfect. But anyways, we have the Prosecutors coming from the skies, and they throw their hammers like Thor, and they end up killing one of my warriors, and that's pretty much it. We go into my turn, I throw Inspiring Presence on the Chosen, and then I go and cast the magic. I cast Bolt of Change, and I kill off another one of the Prosecutors. I was unable to turn one into a spawn, unfortunately. And then we jump into combat. I make my charges pretty easily. I have the warriors going into the tower, and I have the Chosen coming in at those reinforcements that fell from the sky. So I start with the Chosen because they're utterly nasty and they do me well. They kill off all the Retributors and one more Prosecutor, taking them out of combat. But more importantly, since I did them first and I was able to kill a model, it inspires the warriors next to them to reroll all their failed wounds. So when we get to the combat in the tower, after we take turns, choosing our units, at the end of the day, I lose one of my Chaos Warriors, and he only loses one of his Liberators. This is going to be really tough. These units that he has in the tower aren't incredibly offensive, and I do have 2 wounds each, but he is getting to reroll hits, so that's pretty handy. And then, of course, he is in this tower, so all his armor saves are improved by 1, meaning his character is a 2+ armor save, and these Liberators are 4+ with rerolling the 1s. So I'm going to have to get in some really dedicated units to pull these guys out of there, but just with the warriors, I'm just tying them up and hoping through attrition to take out some more. By at least turn 3, I can put a more heavy-hitting unit in there to wipe them out. I win that crucial roll-off to go first, and I feel like such an idiot right now because I forgot to tell you guys what those numbers mean at the bottom of the screen. Those represent the number of models on the terrain piece. So my opponent has 5, I have 3. I throw Inspiring Presence on the warriors that are assaulting the building, and we go into my magic, where you see me casting Mystic Shield on those same warriors. And here's an overview of the board as we finish movement up. As you can see, I, of course, didn't retreat the warriors. They're going to continue to attrition that unit through. I am going to bring those Dragon Ogres here on the left to assist them. They do 2 wounds each time he fails an armor save. There isn't a Ren, though, but if he fails an armor save, that's 1 dead Liberator. Otherwise, instead of sending the Chosen into the tower, you may think, well, they're pretty killy. They could probably have taken out that unit. They could have, but there's also a chance that maybe... they are still 4+ armor saves with rerolling 1, so there's a chance that maybe I wouldn't have taken it, and then I would have been exposed to my opponent to take more advanced advantageous charges, not on my own terms. He would have been closer to the building too, and he really could have, I felt like, play into that, especially when it comes to choosing combats. So I want to create two distinct battles on the battlefield, and so I use my Chosen to push up and intercept his reinforcements. That way he has to take his time, waste his time hopefully, killing off these Chosen if I don't kill him off first, before he can even start making moves onto the tower, the mission objective. So that's my game plan, and I'm going to hopefully intercept those reinforcements, either kill them off or really blunt them, because the Chosen are very killy, and then maybe out attrition these units with my 2 units of Dragon Ogres. As you can see, the other unit had moved up also. So as you can see, there was some combats here, and people lost some stuff. Nothing too big to really report, just a little bit of an attrition, and we go into my opponent's next turn. The Stromcast Eternals, of course, go next, and the General issues the At the Double order, which allows his units within 12 inches to run and charge. Now, he doesn't run very far, and then he just barely makes the charge, but he's in there nonetheless, and he starts going into combat. So he's going to start off with a Lord Celestant on the Dracoth, and this guy can do anywhere between 7 and 36 wounds. So you think he can do pretty well, but he goes in there and he really just whiffs it. You can see I barely lost anybody. In return, I do quite a number of wounds on the Lord Celestant. I think it was about 4, maybe 6, I forget. And then I killed off 2 of his Liberators. Then we go over to the combat where we're attritioning, and I'm losing this now. I'm not really doing any more wounds. I think I inflicted 1 on the Liberator. But other than that, I'm not really doing much. Oh no, I remember my champion out of that unit actually did 2 wounds because he rolled double 1s on the Celestant. But other than that, it's a really uphill battle here. The Stromcast Eternals again get to go, and we just go into the combats. Really, he does heal up 3 wounds to his Lord Celestant. These guys are so hard to remember their names. So that was pretty disheartening, being able to just cast Healing Storm on him and it not being a magic spell, so I couldn't stop it. And then we go into combat, and his General ends up killing off 1 guy. His Dracoth kills off 2. I whittle down some more of his, and of course the other combat near the tower is just me slowly losing ground. That leads me into my turn for turn 3, and I cast Bolt of Change, but it fails to go off. And as you can see here, the Dragon Ogres that were on the left side did die in that last combat last turn. So I'm bringing the other Dragon Ogres around to hopefully reinforce and maybe kill off that Lord Celestant, and we go into combats. So we go into the combats, and I choose to start with the Chosen. I kill off the rest of his Liberators and do quite a few wounds on his Lord Celestant. He then starts with his Liberators, but they're unable to wound whatever target they chose, or if they chose the Warriors, maybe they killed 1. I then choose to use my Dragon Ogres against his Lord Relictor, I believe it is. I end up killing him, which is very key in this game. And in response to that, it looks like his Lord Celestant goes crazy after losing his best friend, and he kills the rest of the warriors. Too bad that didn't happen a little bit sooner. So we roll off to see if the game ends on turn 3, and sure enough, it does. Or does it? It turns out, as we were getting ready to just move everything off the table, I realized I never even got to attack with my warriors after we had his Lord Celestant, go crazy and kill everyone. So I get 1 more stab at it, and he has 1 model on that in the unit that only has 1 wound left, so it's a little bit dramatic here, and I roll my dice up. I only do, I think, 3 wounds, so it's statistically possible, and sure enough, he rolls it. He rolls a 1 first and gets to re-roll, and then I think he rolls a 2. So it was a really great game, and it was a really great way for it to end, and at the end, the Pyre Legion wins 3-4. And so that's the end of the game, and it was just very, very fun. I'm really enjoying Age of Sigmar. It's growing on me every time I play it. I know I haven't posted a lot recently. There's just been a lot of things going on that required my attention to be elsewhere. But yeah, I'm pretty much going to be more back in the flow of things in the more immediate future that I can see. So look forward to more content. Unfortunately, in Hawaii, at least where I live, unless there's secrets that I don't know about, which I doubt it, Fantasy 8th Fantasy is dead. There's just nobody playing it. There's a couple people I've talked to that are willing to play it if I want to set up a game, but they're not going out of their way to find 8th edition games. They have their other hobbies that they're interested in. There's just no future, and there's definitely not an influx of players. Ever since I've been in fantasy, there just hasn't been an influx of players. No matter the variety of places I've lived, I've always had a hard time finding opponents. So 8th is gone, and so this channel is dedicated to Age of Sigmar. And I just want everybody to know that. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you enjoy Age of Sigmar like I do. To everybody, I appreciate everyone's likes, comments, and subscriptions. To everyone who has watched me through 8th, I really appreciate your guys' viewership. And I look forward to delivering more to anybody else who sticks around. So everyone, I hope you appreciated this, and I'll talk to you guys later. I'll hopefully have one out next week. Already got a battle report in the bag, just need to post it. Alright guys, see ya.